Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have, this is Jan Lewis, and welcome today we have Jig Gets Lost author Julia Kneeland. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you.
Now, she has her little dog. Show me your dog. Yep, see, that's Jig. And he is a corgi.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was going to be a basset hound because I love the short legs, and I caught that part, then I thought, long straight ears, I think of a basset.
Oh, yes.
That's my favorite. Corgis are like next. Well,
Okay.
Little bulldogs, but this is so cute. Now, you have an illustrator, and what's her name? Let's plug her too.
Rachel Budd.
Rachel, where did you meet your
She's
illustrator?
wonderful.
Yeah.
She lives and works in Woodstock.
Yeah.
She works at Woodstock Academy. She's an art teacher.
Yeah.
And I happened across her picture of Jig. It looked a lot like Jig.
Yeah.
On her website.
Yeah.
And I immediately contacted her. I said, "Can you do this for me?" And she's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful illustrator. She's great to work with.
This is your first book. Julia,
Yes.
when did you start writing it?
Oh my goodness. I would say over a year ago. It's been a long process.
Yeah.
I would say maybe a year ago.
And what prompted you to write it?
I wanted to write something for my grandchildren who are emerging readers, and I wrote it for about 6-year-old to 8-year-old to be able to read,
Yeah.
and something that would interest them
Yeah.
and encourage them to read, and it also encouraged them to write.
Yeah.
Both of them have written sequels to my Jig.
So where have you been appearing to have your presentations and book signings?
The first one was in Putnam.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to get in there when they were having a promotion, and then I've been at the Putnam Library, and then the Woodstock Congregational Church. That was right across from Roseland Park, and that, so that was very nice. And Thompson too.
Many of the authors that I help will say to me, "Why are you researching? Why did you send me the list of senior centers?" I said, "Because seniors have grandchildren.
That's right.
They love this type of thing. I've sent many authors to many different. Absolutely, they just at first it doesn't dawn on them. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on now. Now, were you a writer as a kid?
When I was very young,
Yeah.
I enjoyed writing plays and directing them, starring in them. No, I'm only kidding, but I enjoyed that sort of thing.
Sure.
And I got more into writing when I was in college.
Where'd you go?
Well, I went to a few, but the one that I went to my graduate work was Rhode Island College.
Okay, RISD. No. Wait, is that RISD?
No.
That's Rhode Island School of Design.
Yeah.
Rhode Island College. Yeah.
Rhode Island College.
What'd you major in?
Music education. I got my master's in music education. Then, after a while, I decided I wanted to teach more, teach a little bit more. So I got my cross endorsement at Eastern, that's where I'm working part-time now.
Eastern. What is now Eastern?
Eastern, it's a Connecticut State College. University.
Eastern University.
Mm-hmm.
And where
it's in Willimantic,
I've
Connecticut.
never heard of it. Even when I was applying for colleges, I don't remember hearing about it.
Eastern, yeah. Eastern.
Is it a co-ed college?
Oh, yeah.
Regular liberal arts?
Yes, State College, State University.
How long has it been there for many, many years?
Yes.
I wonder why I wasn't told about it.
Well, I think the competitor is UConn. So UConn maybe overshines it a little bit.
I know where I went, Plymouth State University up in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
That's an offshoot like Keene. They're an offshoot of the university.
Right.
But I think back then they didn't really steer me to anything outside of Massachusetts and Vermont. I mean, New Hampshire.
Right.
That's good to know.
Right.
So it's not that far from where you are.
No, half hour.
What are you doing there? What are you teaching?
I'm working in a library.
What do you? You're a clerk at the library?
Yeah, I'm a university assistant,
Yeah.
so I'm very fortunate. I love it.
You like
and
that?
I have been having college students that I've overseen and that sort of
That's
thing.
got to be. Now,
It's ideal.
people who are wondering what Jigs Gets
Oh,
Lost, tell us about the book.
Okay, Jig Gets Lost. He's a city dog.
Yeah.
And he decides to go on an adventure. He just is getting out. He lives in the city and he gets out of the apartment and he goes and he follows his nose. He just loves the smells of all the different food vendors.
Yeah.
And he looks around and he befriends a food vendor
Yeah.
who gives him a treat. And then he looks around and he can't find where his home is. And so he looks quite a bit and he gets tired. So he goes to a park and takes a nap. And then his family finds him because they were looking for him.
Where did you? So you got the idea. You were inspired originally from the dog that you knew, right?
Yeah.
The dog that did you have a corgi yourself?
No. I got inspired by this sounds a little not that creative, by simple language. I started out with just wanting very simple language for my grandchildren to read.
Yeah.
And then from that, I developed my story.
Yeah.
It's just about a little city dog.
Where can they get your book? How can they get your book?
You can get the book through Amazon and also through my website, juliakneeland.net. And I also have an address, an email address.
That's good. That's good. Now, where are you coming up? Where are you scheduling?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Good. That's a Saturday. Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to Warregan, Connecticut, and I'm going to be at a Christmas bazaar. I'm very hopeful that the book will go well.
I tell authors, they say, well, why do you want to steer me towards an arts and crafts fair? That's just one of the many places I send them. And I said, because you will not usually see many, if any, authors at a crafts fair. You're going to stand out, my friend. And people gather around. It's a great way to sell your book. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Now you've spoken at the library in your town.
Yes.
Right? Putnam too?
Well, not in my town yet.
Yeah.
No, just in Putnam. And I shared the book and took and answered some questions.
The kids
So
are
that
good at
was
asking
fun.
questions and all?
Yeah, they are.
They are. There's so
They
many
are.
libraries around that are beginning to open back up again and have events, that type of thing. Now,
Yeah.
this is going to be in a series about Jig, right?
Yes.
What's
Yes.
coming up?
Next, my illustrator is working on Jig Goes to the Zoo. And again, even though it doesn't say New York City,
Yeah.
the zoo is really the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah.
My husband and I used to live outside the city about a half hour.
Oh.
And we went many times to the Bronx Zoo. So
Yeah.
Jig has an adventure.
Yeah.
Goes to the zoo. And I don't want to give the whole story away, but what happens is he goes into the Reptile House.
Oh, my
And-
least favorite place.
Yes.
Ooh.
And he has an adventure
Yeah.
there. A bad city squirrel is chasing him. So
A squirrel?
Yeah, a squirrel. City squirrels are different.
Yeah. So he ends up in the reptile house.
He does. He ends up in the reptile house. He looks up. This is based on a true story. My husband and I were at the zoo. He looks up and he's startled by this big
Boa constrictor or something?
dragon, an iguana.
An iguana.
Yeah, a big green iguana.
Oh, that's
So
going to be
he
the iguana. Might
chases
think
out
he
of
was
there.
dinner or so. Oh my God! Have you ever been to Southwick Zoo over here in?
No, I haven't.
You both would love it. If you like the
Yeah.
Bronx Zoo, you're going to love Southwick.
Yeah.
It's more than a one-day thing, I think, for people to go through.
We'll have to take the grandkids.
Yeah, it's
That'd be
in
fun.
Mendon, which isn't really that far from the Connecticut line.
Right.
How long did it take you to get here from where you were?
Probably 45, 50 minutes.
Oh, okay, so I would say Mendon is about 15 minutes from here. It's like a next town over.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we've had the director all through the years of the zoo. It's amazing over there.
Yeah.
Really. Now,
Zoos.
when you present these with the kids, what do they think of your dog, of the stuffed animal version of
They
Jig?
love him.
They
They
love
want to
him.
take him.
Yeah.
They pet him.
Oh yeah.
And they love him and hug him.
How long have you had him? Has he always been with you?
He was a gift from an art teacher friend for my birthday. And It was perfect. It was just a perfect little...
When did you get it? How long ago?
Just last April.
April's your birthday?
April's my birthday.
April what?
20th.
Okay, I have a friend who's April 27th and a former friend in school who was April 8th. I remember.
Oh.
I could remember a birthday something more than I can remember somebody's first name. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I have no idea. So now your grandchildren, are they old enough yet to read this?
Yes.
They are.
My grandson actually took it to school and read it.
Oh, to
When
the
he
class.
got
How
his-
old is he?
He is 8.
8.
Mm.
Good. And he read it to the class.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Yeah.
teacher think?
She loved it.
Do they know
She
that
loved
his
it.
mom is an author?
The grandma, yeah.
Yeah, his grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
look young enough to be his mother.
Oh,
We
thank
don't
you.
know these days.
I know.
A girl could tell
you
me
have to be
she's
careful.
Well, she just, you could be in your 50s nowadays. It,
I
it, it
know.
works, and anything. And
I
so
know.
I'm very careful if I'm in a store, like, is that your first? Or something.
Yeah,
Because
right.
you don't know, unless it's very, very obvious. The person
Right.
could be the great-grandmother. But
Right.
it's a whole new world like
It
that. I
is.
love it. It's great.
It
I'm ready to
is,
start
it
again.
is.
Well, I think. I think.
Yeah.
Now, you had how many children?
2. I have a daughter, Melanie, who
Yeah.
lives in New Hampshire, and a son, Nathan, who lives in Woodstock, Connecticut. So we're
Okay.
very close.
Yeah. Are they millennials?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I would say so.
I know.
I
My
would
heart
say
goes
so.
out to you.
I know.
Oh, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're different. And very,
Yeah,
very different.
yeah.
So this is going to be part of a series. There is a picture in the back, a beautiful one of you. At first I didn't recognize you. Have a different hairdo.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. And then you have a picture of Rachel Budd, who's your artist.
Yes.
Beautiful pictures back. I like it when
Thank you.
authors are sure to put their picture back there.
Yes.
When I'm reading a book, right, I tend to want to see what the author looked like,
I
where
know.
they live,
A
where
little
that type of thing.
bit of personal
Yeah.
touch.
So you always lived in Connecticut, right?
We actually lived in New York for
Yeah.
a while, and Massachusetts. We lived in Uxbridge, North Uxbridge, Mass.
That's right down the street.
I know. When we were coming to find you, we ended up going home that way and going by where we used to live.
122. 122.
122.
That's a jump for us, right? Right
Yeah.
next door.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Norwalk or Stamford, Connecticut?
That's a
Greenwich.
ways from us.
That's my parents and I moved down there.
Mm-hmm.
It was an easy commute for my father to the New York branch office he was working out of.
Mm-hmm.
Near the Merritt Parkway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else I know about Connecticut. It's Enfield.
Yes.
It's not far from where I grew up in Wilbraham, Mass.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, East Windsor isn't that far.
Yeah, it is. That's closer to Massachusetts.
Right.
Is that near, what's it, 95 or 91 that we
Route
go?
5 and 91.
91. And then you go
Mhm.
right past that?
Yes.
Okay, now I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Again, tell us how they can reach your book.
They can reach the book through Amazon, just Julia Kneeland, Jig Gets Lost, and also through my website, juliakneeland.net.
Julia was a teacher. And you still are doing that, right? Kind of, a little bit?
Not so much, no. I'm working part-time at the library
Yeah.
at the university, and I enjoy that very much.
With children or the students?
The students.
That's
so
good.
future teachers.
Exactly.
Future teachers.
Future
and that's
teachers.
exciting.
And she used to teach 5th grade, 10 years old kids. That's a good way to catch them at 10. And then
Yes.
they start, heading for preteen.
Yeah.
But at 10, you have
It's
a
a
lot of guts to teach kids
favorite.
nowadays. Oh
It's
my
a
God.
favorite. Yeah.
How long have you not been teaching? How long have you been out of it?
About 2.5 years. Not that long.
You retired early.
I did.
Yeah.
I was fortunate,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to stop working. I just needed a change, and I think the writing.
Mhm.
And I worked. Like I said, I work at the university
Yeah.
part time.
Right. Now, what age group, I'm trying to think, would you, as the author of the book, think we should focus on for the kids? What do you think?
Elementary school.
Real elementary.
Yeah, lower elementary.
Okay, because lower elementary, does that go up to like 3rd or 4th?
Third.
3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a grandchild who's going to be, I think he's going to be 9 in March. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, for Christmas I'm thinking, would this be too young for him?
I don't think so. I think the story would catch his attention.
Definitely. With the pets, they just got a cat, a kitten.
Oh, yeah.
So this is... Now, you've got the other one coming. How many do you think will come in the series?
Well, I've already written some. So I did write, and it's being illustrated, Jig Goes to the Zoo. But I also did another one, Jig Goes to the Museum, and that's based on one of the very famous pictures at an exhibition.
Yeah.
And he goes into the museum,
Yeah.
which he would never be allowed. But
Well, there's a comfort cat. They might. A comfort animal.
that's true.
Sure, they
You
go
never
everywhere.
know.
Well, I've seen them. So
But
that,
he sees the picture of the gnome, the Great Gate of Kiev, and the children playing in the park in Paris. So it goes along like that.
So
and
there's
I was
quite a few coming.
inspired.
How many do you think? 4 or 5 coming? Or
Well, that was one book.
Yeah. One
And
book.
So he goes to the museum.
Yeah.
And another book is he goes to a birthday party. And that takes place in Central Park, even though it's not.
Central. I've
Park.
never been there.
It's
I think
beautiful.
No, wait a minute. What's the zoo in Boston? When I was a kid, my grandmother took me. I can't. Franklin Park?
I think so.
The Franklin Zoo.
Franklin
I
Zoo.
don't remember. I think she took me by train. Honestly, I don't remember much, but just sitting and maybe having a snack.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing animals.
Yeah.
Not at all. So, if somebody wanted to have you come and do a presentation and book signing, where would you be willing to go? All over New England?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've just reached out, on my own, but I'm very open to that. I'm planning on going to my granddaughter's school next week,
Oh,
and it's a preschool.
yeah.
And I have a picture, I should have brought it, of what a coloring page that my illustrator did for me
Oh, I love
of
that.
Jig.
Yeah, that's great. That is
So I've been handing that out with crayons and different things like that to
That's
promote.
what the kids would love. That's what I would love.
I know.
I love it. Have you
know.
seen those coloring books for adults?
I know. They're beautiful.
I've had so many. I've given away some to a friend of mine because she likes to do it.
Yeah.
People say, "Well, what would you color?" I'm like, "Why wouldn't I?"
Right.
It's relaxing.
It
It's like
is
Zen
very
meditation.
It's very
It
relaxing.
really, really is. Who is it? A friend of mine. I said, "Would you like one? I can find one for you."
Mhm.
She said, "Well, I'd be too worried about coloring outside the lines."
Oh, no.
I said, "No, art has no rules.
That's
you do
right.
whatever you want. You can add to it. You can
That's
squiggle in it." Do you believe in journaling? You think that's
Oh,
good?
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's good for children, too.
Yeah.
At an appropriate age.
Sure.
And what we used to do as educators for the younger children is have them draw a picture
Yeah.
and then tell the story.
That's a
So
good idea.
sometimes they draw first and then write later.
When you're giving a presentation in a school, library, or whatever, that would be a great idea to hand out a blank piece of paper,
Mhm.
and they say, if you'd like to draw a jig,
Yeah,
you think that would work?
I do.
Yeah, I
I
really do.
definitely do.
That would be fun. I think I was sure that you had done this because you seem very talented at, with you can hear about the coloring and all this,
Yeah.
and you can tell that you're really excited about this.
I am.
Do you think you thought you would do it before you stopped teaching?
I wouldn't have had time.
So you hadn't thought about it yet. But
Yeah.
then you thought, you know what? I think I'd like to write a children's book.
Mhm.
Did something inspire you? One of the other authors?
I don't know of an author. I think working in the library
Yeah.
and seeing all the children's books, because I wasn't first in the curriculum center,
Right.
which was all children's books.
It was.
It was all children's books at Eastern
So what Eastern University?
University State,
Eastern State.
Connecticut College.
You must. I would think. Do they know? Do you have a copy of your book right on?
Yes.
Okay,
They have
so-
a copy all on display.
Okay, they do. All right.
Mhm.
Well, by the way, you'll be able to pick up a copy down in our dedicated authors, local authors. You're local. It's right here in
Yeah.
New England. Section of the Upton Town Library. Great way to get the word out for your book. Go
Thank
down
you.
there and say, "Oh, boy, that looks good." You can
Yeah.
borrow it. Have you seen those along the roads? Those little library. They look like birdhouses.
Yes.
You have many of them down there.
I've seen them,
Yeah.
but along my travels,
What
I've
a great
seen them.
way,
Get the book out.
In this book, Julia, do you have a way for people to contact you if they're just reading the book? Is there a way?
Yes.
I'm trying to think that I see something.
Right where
Oh, yeah.
my picture is.
www.juliakneeland, KNEELAND.net.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your online site.
Yes.
Okay, because somebody who might pick it up downstairs or at any other facility
Right.
might say, but I don't know how to reach her. I love this. I want her to come speak.
Yes.
That's.
That's the way.
Was it easy for you to give presentations, or were you nervous at first?
It was not that difficult. I think from being a teacher and that sort of thing, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
So you went to school, college, and you majored in the English? No, wait a minute.
I first went and majored in music education.
Music, yeah.
I taught music for several years.
Yeah.
And then I decided I wanted to teach more, so I got a cross endorsement at Eastern. And
So music. I'm thinking how
And fifth
when you
grade
give a
elementary
presentation, do you ever
education.
have music in the background about him?
that'd be great.
A song. I know a songwriter. Actually, at the beginning of our show, "Run River Run." I don't
Oh,
know if you-
yes.
That he is our resident songwriter. He's from West Brookfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He did that. Actually, also the exit of when the show is over,
Mhm.
you'll hear the Gypsy Moon.
Hmm.
I wonder, wouldn't that be a neat?
That would be awesome.
If he could come up with something about Jig the dog,
Yeah,
and when you go in with the kids,
have that playing. They would love it.
yeah, I really
They
do.
would.
Do you have a leash for that? Just
We do. We can get one. I think we had one, but it was too big.
You know what you could do
We have
is
a
put
little leash
little
on them.
wheels. I'm not kidding.
Oh, that would
little
be
wheels on the bottom or something, or maybe just a little thing to put under his tummy.
Yeah.
And when you walk in,
Just bring him in.
can you see? I can see the
I can
kids
see
going
that.
nuts.
That would be adorable.
Oh gosh, I wonder if any of the kids ever have corgis. Do they ever?
Oh,
come up-
they do. They come up and they ask me, adults and children. They'll ask me about
Oh.
the corgi.
Do you have a corgi?
No, we do have a dog.
What kind is he?
He is a lab mix.
He's a big one.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's,
Any cats? No kitties?
No kitties.
No kitties.
Sadly,
Do
I
you-
would have one.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes kitties.
How about, so when I first read the book, and it described Jig, it said he had low squat to the ground, which I
Mhm.
love. And then, I don't want a dog this big.
No.
And then he had long, straight ears. I thought, oh, it's a basset. But no,
Right.
it's not.
No,
He's a corgi. It's good enough for the Queen of England.
That's right.
She has, what, 3 of those?
I think so.
Yeah, well, she's not doing too well. God bless her right
No,
now.
I know.
She's up there. She's going to hit 100 if she keeps going.
I know.
She's going to do it. Again, how can they get your book, Julia?
They can get my book through Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just Jig Gets Lost by Julia Kneeland. And the other way to get the book is through my website, juliakneeland.net.
Julia, when you give a presentation, book signing, do the parents come to?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's. Do they sit down and really listen to you?
Yeah. And they'll, the book signing, a lot of times, it will be like you were saying for grandmothers
Sure.
that want to give to their our aunts and uncles that want to give
Yeah,
a book.
definitely. Oh, yeah. I was sharing with Julia that some of my authors have said through the years, well, you've listed senior centers to me, and they could have a children's book, whatever, or even a preteen,
Mhm.
whatever. And they'll say, why are you sending me there? This is a mystery, and blah, blah, blah. I said, think about it. Who's over at the senior center? Does your grandmother go there? Well, yeah, they do. I'm like,
Yeah,
they
perfect.
love, sure. We have some excellent senior centers in this area that are
That's
very open
nice.
to this. Very, very much. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes left. What would you, if somebody wanted to get into writing children's books, what would you suggest to them?
I would definitely encourage them to do that and think of an adventure that maybe they had that they could put into story form.
Yeah.
I think children love stories, and so even a true life story would be really of value. I'm working now doing research about my dad, and he was a World War II veteran.
Yeah.
And I've gone back and done some digging and working on my family tree.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot
memoir?
of story there.
Are you think you're going to write a memoir about that?
I would love to. My cousin and I think, will collaborate.
That's really, really cool.
I'm excited.
Well, we've been talking with Julia Kneeland, and she is from Connecticut, and she is the author of Jig Gets Lost. You can pick up a copy right down in our library here in Upton, and she's given you her website. And if you'd like to have her come and give a presentation, if you're wherever you are, she's willing to travel, right? New England?
Absolutely.
Okay. Willing to travel. Heck, car will travel.
That's right.
She'll be bringing Jig with her. It's not really but I'm thinking too that would be a gas if there was something under him. Nothing fancy, maybe just strapped on for the show.
Yeah.
With a couple wheels.
Yeah.
You know. And bring him in on a leash.
That'd be adorable. I love that idea.
That would be good. And with a little song.
Yes.
In the background.
I'll have to think about that.
There you go. Well, you have that music background.
I know.
So it would be easy for you to talk with the person who actually creates music.
Yes.
You could have with words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that type
It
of...
would be adorable.
Jig Gets Lost. He's so cute. He's a corgi. Thank you for being with us, Julia.
Thank you for having me.
And let me know when the other ones come along.
I will.
Because we will be following the serial of the... oh, that'll be great.
Yes.
We'll see you
Okay.
next time. I'll be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.